Hi, this is Sam Droege, and this is a video about washing bees. And so first of all, the reason that we spend an entire video on washing bees is we want to have good-looking bees so that the people who are doing identifications, either you or someone else, has a bee that's nice to look at. Usually when they come straight out of alcohol or out of water, they look bad and they're all bedraggled, the hair is folded on, the wings are pinned against the side. So we want to have nice, fluffy, good-looking bees. So that's what this video is about. We have two techniques. One technique is going to be the use of an auto bee washer, and the other is a technique that just uses a simple canning jar with a screen top.
Alright, method number one, this is the auto bee washer. We'll show you how to do that, where you take something from the field. It might be a whirl pack, it might be a vial, as in this case. And what we're going to do is take the specimens out. The first thing is we're going to open up that vial, and I'm going to reach in and pull out the tag that's in there. That's done in pencil because it's always done in pencil, so it doesn't run. And then I'm going to put that tag into a petri dish, and that's where the specimens ultimately are going to sit after they've been washed and dried. And it allows me to run a whole series of petri dishes in a row and be very efficient and run these things while I'm off doing email or something else. So the first thing is to dump the specimens out. You could have flushed them out with water. It doesn't really matter. They're all going into water anyway. So if I have a whirl pack, I usually dump a bunch of water in there first and dump it out. Sometimes I'll strain it, put it in a strainer, and run hot water over it to clean off the gook. But in this case, I just ran it right into the coffee cup, added warm or hot water. You want to have warm or hot water so that you get good looking bees. You don't want to use cold water. Like, you wouldn't use that in your washing of your clothes, would you? So a big squirt of dishwashing liquid, doesn't really matter what kind of soap you use, just something fairly strong. I added in the magnetic stirring rod, and then I put this on a magnetic stir plate, just like you'd use in Chem Lab. And I'm turning that on. There's a shot of it, and you can see that we're actually spinning these things really quickly. Specimens in alcohol or in water are very tough. You don't really have to worry about breaking them or hurting them at all. Now I'm going to rinse them out, and I'm rinsing them actually in this case into the tube we use in the auto bee dryer. So it's just a chunk of 2-inch PVC pipe. Plastic window screen has been glued on with pipe dope, the kind of stuff you join pipe with. It's the same material onto one end, and I'm just going to dump the specimens right through the tube and into that thing using a funnel. The funnel's been cut off so that it's got a wider opening so that bees like Xylocopa will fit through, which they won't in a small funnel. Just dump everything through. I haven't done anything else except pull out the stir rod, and now I'm going to rinse it right through. Again, they're very tough, so you don't have to worry about this. And I'm rinsing it until all the suds are out. So I want to get all the soap residue out, because otherwise it's going to leave a sheen at the end if I dried it right away. And then I also want to snap as much water out as possible. I'm going to have to dry all these specimens, so the more I can do to get rid of water beforehand, the better. So again, you can see that I'm not being gentle with these things. They're very tough. This is a theme, how tough bees are. And then you can also wet them down. You don't have to with alcohol. I just use stuff from the hardware store. 95% is what it usually comes as. I snap it out again. Again, the idea is to get as much out as possible. And the reason for that is that the alcohol replaces water and evaporates faster. Okay, then I'm going to end up putting the lid on, which has screen on the top, and that's what we're going to put in the auto bee dryer. So that's pretty much ready to go right now. I don't know why I'm talking any further, but oh, here we go. Shaken, not stirred. This is the second method. This is if you don't have an auto bee washer or dryer. I've done the same thing. I've got warm soapy water in with the specimens, but I've got it in a canning jar, and on top of the canning jar is some window screen, same stuff, and I just screwed it onto the top. And what I'm going to do is now, instead of stirring and being able to do my email, I'm going to shake it by hand. This is something that you can get your technician to do, who of course isn't allowed to use email during working hours. So you just shake it, and I do this for at least a minute. And the reason for a minute is you have to get all the pollen and all the nectar that has been regurgitated and anything else that's cruddy in there, and you're going to do that for quite a long time, and you have to be usually at the beginning set a timer to do this, because people always shortcut this, particularly if it's again your technician and they think, oh yeah, it's done now. So okay, that's complete, and the second phase is to rinse it out, and it's just a simple matter of rinsing and replacing until there's no more sudsy water in there. And again, warm water, hot water, because for two reasons. One is it gets them cleaner, and the second, if you have warm water, it's going to evaporate faster in the next phase, which is to dry out the specimens in that jar with a hair dryer. And we're going to show that in a separate video. But for now, it's the same idea. You're going to take the jar, hold it carefully because it is glass, and snap out as much as possible of the water. You can do the alcohol thing again too. That's very useful, particularly because you're going to have to be drying this by hand with a hair dryer.